He's an immortal cannabis wizard with a deep love for all things phallic under the sun because he's all about the brotherlyhood of eternal love. Last 33 years, he's been doing cannabis sales, genetics, cultivation, and now he's here with us. You know him better as the Count, but we know him as St. Germain. Mathieu St Germain, what do you have for us on this beautiful Monday morning?
Hi, all. Happy Monday. I have a story that makes me feel the exact opposite of that first story of the day today. So this comes from the Journal of Psychopharmacology, and it appears that psilocybin has a uniquely powerful relationship with nature relatedness. The use of psilocybin, a hallucinogenic substance found in some magic mushrooms, has stronger connection to how people feel about nature compared to the use of other psychedelic drugs, according to this new research in this study. Research has found that the use of classic psychedelic drugs is positively associated with people's sense of connectedness with the natural environment and even objective knowledge about climate change issues. While much of this research is correlational, there is some preliminary evidence of a causal link between psychedelic use and nature relatedness. Classic psychedelics are a group of psychoactive substances that are known for producing profound alterations in perceptions, thought, and emotions. They are sometimes referred to as serotonergic psychedelics because they primarily act on the serotonin system in the brain. Examples of classic psychedelics are everybody's favorites: LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide, psilocybin, found in magic mushrooms, and DMT, dimethyltryptamine. But different types of classic psychedelics appear to have different subjective effects, and previous studies did not typically take this into account. For their new study, the researchers reanalyzed data from 5 previous studies that had assessed the link between experience with various psychoactive substances and nature relatedness. They found that among people who had experience with a variety of psychedelic substances, only previous use of psilocybin reliably predicted nature relatedness. When assessing past use of various classical psychedelics, only use of psilocybin mushrooms emerged as the reliable predictor, according to Gandhi, who was the chief psychologist that ran this study. The 3 subdimensions that comprise nature relatedness are the individual sense of self-identity and identity in relation to nature. Ergo, my relationship to nature is an important part of who I am. The individual personal experience with nature. My ideal vacation spot would be a remote natural wilderness area, for example, and the individual's attitudes and values towards the natural environment. When examining those who had experience with psilocybin but none of the other psychedelic drugs, the researchers found that more frequent psilocybin use predicted higher levels of nature relatedness, but this was not the case for those who had only had experience with LSD. These findings suggest that psilocybin may hold particular promise among psychedelics as an agent that can facilitate shifts in people's relationships with nature, and this in turn could have important implications for mental health and well-being and really the life support system of our whole planet, you guys. These studies' findings will contribute to the development of clinical interventions, hint at the intricate effect of different psychedelics, and highlight the need to further investigate how contextual and interpersonal factors may interact with a psychedelic to potentially yield sustained shifts in cognition and behavior. The study, among psychedelic experienced users, only past use of psilocybin reliably predicts nature relatedness, so you can Google it, was authored by Matthias Forsman, Hans Kettner, Christina Sagioglu, Alexander Irvine, Sam Gandy, Robin Carhart Harris, and David Luke. I mirror this. I think that mushrooms have a unique message to our interconnectedness and not even our relatedness to nature, but the fact that we actually are nature, immersed in nature. LSD, and I was listening to Tim Scully, who made over 5 million hits of Orange Sunshine in Windsor, California, about 10 miles that way, for the Brotherhood of Eternal Love in the late 60s. And he was saying the same thing I found, which is when I took LSD, I got the message of relatedness and how we're all a human family. We need to respect and protect our life support system so we can continue to fly this spaceship through the universe in peace together. And I thought that was the message for everybody. And I like Tim, at a much more humble level, began to try to get LSD into everybody's hands, thinking that it would do that. And what I saw and he was commenting on is a lot of people would take the acid and remain assholes. And it appears that LSD is more of an amplifier, and really one needs to do a lot more personal work in order to really get a sustaining long-term message from LSD. Whereas psilocybin mushrooms are a being with a consciousness that wants to immediately focus us on the need to support our life support systems and how we are actually a steward of this planet and a beneficiary of its gifts, as long as we don't poison it and cause a mass extinction. That's St. Germain's Monday rant. What do you guys think?